I'm Abigail. Thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and most importantly, share this video to IMGs who are thinking of relocating to Canada. Now, the information regarding physicians relocating to Canada can be so overwhelming and enshrouded in mysteries, but I'm going to take you through the process step by step. It's not difficult. It is a lot of information, I agree, but it is not difficult. And if you stick with me and go through the steps, you wouldn't get confused with all of the information available. An IMG relocating to Canada has a goal of being licensed, except thinking of pivoting to another career. When it comes to moving to Canada, you have to think about your immigration status and also licensure. Unlike the UK or the US, where you don't need to be a citizen or permanent resident prior to starting to work in Canada, you do. And there's also a pathway for work permit. Now, the other is licensure, and this could be independent or supervised. And there are exams, the QE1, the NACOSKI, the TDM exam, and also an English exam. We're going to start with the permanent residency application because obviously if you're a citizen you're not going to be listening to me. The other is that we will talk about the work permit at some point. So permanent residency application, there are a lot of information regarding PR, but as a physician I would advise that you follow the steps that we're going to be discussing because our pathway is somewhat different. The first step is to obtain the ECA. You can write for the English test, you submit an express entry profile, and then you prepare for the MCCQA1. I am still developing this document and we're going to be doing it together on the channel. My aim is at some point when this is comprehensive enough, I'll be able to put this online so anyone can reference it. In the meantime, you can always go back, pause if you need to listen to a part of the video again. So, what is an ECA, first of all? ECA means Educational Credential Assessment, and the whole point is that your medical degree, be it MBBS or MBCHB, has to be verified by the Medical Council of Canada to say that this degree is equal to the MD degree, that's the medical degree in Canada. For you to obtain an ECA, you have to register with the Physicians Apply, then you source verify your medical degree, and then you receive an ECA. When you receive the ECA, it's going to contain a number on the document which you're going to use in the express entry profile. The ECA is equivalent to the WES verification for non-medics, but to verify document via WES is not as convoluted. Register Physicians Apply. So we're going to see how to do that now. This is the website physiciansapply.ca. When new to MCC, please create an account and you're going to go down, read the privacy statement and click I agree. You're going to ask a series of questions. Have you applied or taken an MCC examination? No. Have you source verified your documents before? No. Do you have an MINC? No. And then you're going to put in your surname. I'm just going to use the name of this channel, and gender is female, date of birth. In country of birth, I'm going to say Nigeria. Country of residency, I'm also going to say Nigeria. Taught in English, ask you for your phone number. You'll be asked to put in an email address as well. Yes, you want communication. Save and continue. Your country of medical school, Nigeria. I'm just going to use Abia State, and I was awarded the MBBS. This is going to be based on where you went to medical school. Were you a citizen or permanent resident at the time you entered into medical school? No. And continue. And they're going to create a username and password. Select your security questions and you save and continue. This is the last page, which is the account fee. There is a charge to creating the account, which is 335 Canadian dollars. Now, on my guide, I have put in a budget. Well, because one of the things that happened to me with the whole Canadian journey was I did not count my costs before I started. So I'd like you to, have a spreadsheet as well. Obviously, you're not going to be paying all this money at once, but just to give you an idea so that if you need to, start saving up money, speak to your helper, whatever it is, you know that this is what the cost of the journey is going to be. It's in here, Physicians Apply account, 335 Canadian dollars. Now, when you open a Physicians Apply account, what happens is you're going to be asked to do two things. The first is called certification of your identity confirmation, and you also upload your Nigerian passport. Now, these documents have to be notarized by either a notary public, a lawyer, police officer. They will give you information on who can notarize this document. Of course, this comes at a fee, and I've put in an estimate of 30 Canadian dollars. When you do that and you submit it, they tell you this is accepted. That's when you source verify your medical degree, so 232 Canadian dollars on your Physicians Apply account. So you need a Physicians Apply account to do all of these things. You can't skip this step. This is the website of the Medical Council of Canada. The Physicians Apply account is 335 Canadian dollars, and source verify document is 232 Canadian dollars. Our budget, we've put it there. Now, when you upload your documents onto your Physicians Apply account, it's then going to be sent to ECFMG. ECFMG is going to send it to your school, and your school may charge you a fee, at least mine did, for verifying that document. And I put in an estimate of 100 Canadian dollars. It may be different from your school. When the medical school verifies the document, it then sends it back to ECFMG, who sends it back to Medical Council of Canada, and your ECA is provided. Now, the ECA has the number, and but we'll be using that in our express entry profile. So we have gotten, the first step, which is to obtain the second step is to prepare and write the English language test. Now, this information is on the IRCC website, and these are the language tests that are accepted: the CELPIP General, the IELTS General, the PTE Core, and then there are also French tests as well. The most common exam that I know for English and IELTS, for the English test, for the IELTS General, you need a minimum of 6 across the 4 domains of the test to be eligible to even create an express entry profile. However, I would say aim for a 9 in all your domains. The thing with the express entry is that the higher your score, the more points you have for the English exam. I mean, for writing, for instance, is between 7.5 to 9. We're going to get into the nitty gritty, but I always say aim for the highest score, so that even if you fall short, it's just going to be a little below what the score you were aiming for is. English test is CELPIP, and for the express entry profile, you need a minimum of 7 across all domains. Like I said, aim for 9 as well. These are the preparation materials that are commonly used. I wrote the IELTS general exam, and these are the resources I used: IELTS Liz, IELTS Simon, and E2 IELTS Prep. The first two are free. In fact, on their website, you can go back as far as 10 years ago to look at resources that are available. Lots of practice also available. The CELPIP, these are the listed prep materials as well. Back to our budget sheet. IELTS General, average cost of this exam was 350 Canadian dollars. So we've obtained our ECA, we've prepared and we've written our English test and passed with flying colors. Now we're ready to submit an express entry profile. Initially, I mentioned the West. If you're married and you're coming to Canada with your spouse, they also have to write an English exam as well. My advice is creating 2 profiles. In one profile, you as the medic would be the primary applicant and your spouse would be the accompanying partner. And in the second one, your spouse should be the primary applicant and you'd be the accompanying partner. Chances it can boost your score based on what your partner's English test scores are, and also the degree. The other thing is you don't know whose occupation is going to be deemed as very needed in Canada at that time. So partner may actually be the one who is given an invitation to apply. Getting into the express entry pool is free. You're not paying any money to be in the pool. So both of you can be in the pool. And if one person then gets invited to apply, you can go ahead, delete the account of the other person who was not invited to apply. This is where I'm going to be stopping this video today. The information to relocate to Canada can be a lot. If you stick with me, you're going to be confused. There are people who have done it and you can do it. Trust and believe in yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share with IMGs who are thinking of relocating to Canada. In our next video, we are going to look at submitting an express entry profile. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and see you on the next one. Bye.